Hey everyone, how's it going? Just wanted to make a quick video showing off my new to me 1996 Lincoln Town Car. It's a signature. Like I said, it's a 96. And on the inside, it is blue. So I just bought this last weekend from an older lady in Manchester, Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. So far it's been pretty good, but it does need a few things, so I just figured I'd show them off. Sorry if it's kind of a dry video. This is really more for personal reference than anything. But first off, you can see it is missing a center cap. I did order one of those on eBay, so that should be here in a few days. This chrome molding on the rear bumper, that is just totally coming apart, so I'm gonna have to get that replaced. I think I can just get the sort of universal stuff and cut it to fit. That shouldn't be a problem. It's just 1-inch chrome, and you can see it's got a little bit of fading on the door lock, but nothing crazy. I don't think I'm gonna ever really be bothered with that until I'm getting into the nitty-gritty. Around the windshield, you can see this chrome is also unfortunately starting to go. That will be a little bit more difficult to do since that's part of what holds in the windshield, so not exactly sure if and when that's going to be done. And you can see down there, there's a little bit of leakage around there. Not entirely sure how that'll be fixed. Had a bunch of pine needles when I bought it. Still see some in there. I just went through the car wash, nothing crazy, just wanted to get some of the dirt blown off of it. You can see there's still some on there. This bottom trim here along the door, that's also not great. I can tell it's been sort of painted before, but that paint is not really holding up. And these door handles, right now, just because they're kind of wet, they look pretty black, but a lot of the black plastic trim on this will need to be restored. Just got some more dirt on it. That's just dirt. The biggest thing on the paint really is the swirl marks. It's got a bunch of those, so I'll have to have somebody who knows more about detailing go over it. Some of this, like the badges and all that, are not in the greatest shape. See this Lincoln badge, it's actually pretty good. It's your trunk there. And actually has both of them on the tail light, so that's nice. But if you come around front, you can see that this is missing its lens. That actually just happened at the car wash. I was washing it down and it blew right off. So I think for now I'll just epoxy that back in place, you know, clean it out and dry it out. But I think that went bad on the other one because this looks like a replacement lens, and you can see it doesn't have the Lincoln badge. It just has an empty spot, so whenever it was swapped over, they didn't swap the badge. Let me know if you know somewhere that sells those for not too much money. I might just see if I can get it 3D printed and chromed. Yeah, the finish on this hood ornament is not the best. It's a gold. I do like the gold. I'm usually not a huge fan of the gold finish on cars, but I think on this car it works. Yeah, see more of that not so great paint on the bumper. This bumper might just need to be painted. It also has this license plate frame, and I was going to take that off, but it looks like it's riveted in place, which is unfortunate. So maybe at some point I'll have this bumper completely redone and have that removed. For now, I think I'll just get some sort of, I don't know, Buc-ee's plate or something to put on there. It'd be kind of fun. Yeah, see some more just dirt on it, but overall the paint's in pretty decent shape. Just has those little flaws and imperfections here and there. Yeah, like you can see, that's really just dirt, and I can clean that off. So yeah, I showed you the wheels. They're the BBS style basket weaves. Actually had real BBS basket weaves on my RX-7, and the center cap's actually locked in place differently. On this, there's like this little lip here, and I guess that's how you get them on and off. On the inside, like I said, it's blue, and it's pretty nice. I don't know if you can quite see that there, but there is a little bit of wear going on that chrome on the door panel. Decent sized little door pockets. Does have the wood trim since it's a signature. Actually, I think they all had the wood trim, but maybe it was the Cartier where it was the real wood. This is just sort of the fake stuff. And it's the outside finish, I don't know what you call it on a wood product like this, that's starting to go. So that's something that I will be addressing. I think I'll probably just see if I can, you know, sand this down and put some sort of clear coat over it, because really the wood underneath is in great shape, or the fake wood underneath is in great shape. So that's unfortunate. It's missing, I don't know if it's missing or the chrome just came off, but yeah, there's no chrome on that, whereas this one has chrome. So I'm gonna order one of those on eBay or whatever, wherever you get Lincoln parts, I guess. That's not unlocked. It does have all the power locks, of course. More of that not so great chrome on there, but that's really minor, and I don't think I'm not gonna do anything about it. These pine needles. I guess you lived in an area with a lot of pine needles. Yeah, back here we've got your ashtrays. Now these tend to sort of open up on their own, and they have lights in them, and I was worried that them opening was gonna keep the lights on and maybe drain the battery, but as it turns out, those lights are just for the instrument lights and the headlights. Otherwise they're off, so there's no danger of draining the battery. I think I'll try and get some sort of magnets or something to hold them in place. Yeah, it's just a little minor nitpick. This wood is actually in a little bit better shape than the other stuff, so I'm not sure what causes it to go bad, but I have seen people redo it and it looks great. Up here, she said that she had all of the, well, 3 of the window regulators replaced. Not this one, because she didn't put this window down ever, so it works just fine, which I think is really funny. But on this one, I can tell when they put the door back together, they forgot these little door strap ends, and that's gonna bother me to no end. So I actually ordered a set on eBay. They're reproduction ones, and they actually put the Lincoln badge on them. These ones don't have it, and they'll be color matched blue, so I think that's gonna be great. Obviously back here, it's a really clean back seat. She had this car since 2001. Her husband passed a few years ago, I think, but they were really the only ones who put any serious miles on it. And the only people who would go back in the back seats would be their grandchildren when they were visiting. Let's go to that trunk, and I apologize in advance. It's a little messy. I've got all of my toolbox and tire inflator and jumper cables and all that back here, but as you can see, it's a big trunk. I don't think it really comes across on, you know, video or photos just how big it is. You have to see it in person, because it just sort of looks like a normal trunk. And this is a space saver tire, but like that is a whole, you know, like 15-inch wheel there, and that's just on that front part, and it goes down extremely deep. I was putting my groceries in it yesterday, and you could really fit quite a lot in there. I think this is the car that we'll be driving to Bonnaroo this year. We always go every year, and this will definitely hold a lot of our camping gear quite nicely. And one of the party tricks on these Lincolns is this nice soft closed trunk. It just sort of sucks it down. Very nice. More dirt on the paint, but yeah, I'll take care of that. Again, you can see this plastic is just not the color that it should be, but that's to be expected. This car is 28 years old. Got some more, unfortunately, bad chrome around the rear window there. Of course, you can see that crazy looking defroster. I think that might actually be like maybe a power end, like a radio antenna there, because it's a very funny shape. I'm not sure. Sorry if my hands are shaking. It's 40 degrees out here. Very cool, and there's a breeze. can see that exhaust there. Get a good look underneath this thing. It's really quite clean. There's a little bit of surface rust here and there, but this is a car that spent its entire life in Mississippi and Tennessee, and it was owned for over 20 years by the person I bought it from, who was very meticulous about it. You know, even if some of the paint stuff is not that great, she always took it to the Lincoln dealer every year to get its oil changed, and then would drive, you know, 50 miles, get the oil changed again. It's actually not crazy low miles. It has 126,000 on it. But again, I don't think that's that much for a car like this. These Panther platform cars really were built to last, and this is sort of the sweet spot where Ford had developed them enough to be comfortable and reliable, and they didn't have any major problems. But it was before Ford started really cheaping out and going all plastic fantastic with everything. So everything here is, you know, it feels really nice. Even this like plastic they use on the dash, it's a soft touch and it feels good. Most things about this car are pretty high quality for an American car from the 90s. Take a look at that key there. That's pretty cool. It's the original. Starts up no problems, but we're gonna get that light to come on. Yeah, it does need an air suspension sensor, which is not the greatest. Let me turn off the climate control. It works pretty well. Here's the radio. The radio doesn't really work all that well, and sometimes freaks out on me. And I don't really listen to, you know, AM or FM radio. I more just sort of pull up Spotify and listen to the music I like to listen to. So this I think I'm going to replace, but I want to replace it with something that really fits the car and doesn't look out of place. I think I'll go just to a 1 DIN, because this is a 1.5 DIN radio, and maybe have a little bit of storage underneath so I can slide my phone in there. Obviously there is no center console. There are these armrests. I've got my Sharpie and Kleenex and Aldi quarter in there. There's that lens that I'm going to epoxy back on today. That'll be my afternoon project. But yeah, really a solid car. No major issues. Well, actually there is a couple more issues. I lied. This speedometer sometimes doesn't read the speed. It just says 0, or it'll sort of fluctuate. I think that might be a speed sensor issue. I'm hoping it's not an electrical or wiring issue. And of course it didn't start until I'd, you know, driven an hour back to Nashville, and then all of a sudden I went to go to my friend's house and the speedometer just kept saying 0, and I was like, well, that's unusual. And the brakes are not great. It still stops fine. But I would like more pedal feel, and, you know, not to be pushing the pedal down as far. But again, that's not something I'm going to fault the owner on, because, you know, I don't think she ever drove more than 30 miles an hour for at least a decade. We've got my duck on there. I always have a duck in my cars. That duck, which is, you know, it's just a cute little thing to have, right? And just messing around with these lights. Normally they'll be off, and when you swivel them, they turn on. There's 2 more in the back there. This mirror is the non power mirror. It just has the standard dimmer in it, which it would have been nice to have the other one, but of course that's another thing to break. And it also means that it just sort of floats in the middle of the windshield there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's the door jamb, real clean. I think this weather stripping might sort of be getting old and brittle, because there's a little bit of wind noise. That also might just be from these really chunky mirrors. You can really see all manner of things with these things. The visibility in this car is excellent, especially considering just how big this, I guess you would call this, it's it's a C-pillar, but maybe it's a D-pillar because it has this opera window in it. I'm not sure what you would classify that as. Obviously it needs a little bit of tint. I don't normally have cars with tinted windows, but I think that would look pretty good on this. And you might be thinking, wow, it's good to see that a car like this has gone to somebody who, you know, is going to just be meticulous with it and, you know, keep it stock. And I do want to be meticulous, but I think I'm going to maybe modify it a little bit. I know you're already cringing seeing me point at the wheels and saying, oh, I want to change these out. Yeah, I do, but I want to be tasteful about it. If I do, I'll put it on YouTube and you'll be able to see that I'm not totally ruining a beautiful car like this. Here's that pinstripe on the paint. See if that camera will focus on it. Not quite. Maybe my fingerprints on the lens or something. But it's a navy blue to match the interior, which I think is classy. Again, I don't normally like pinstripes on cars, but on this one, I don't know, I think it works. Obviously, as you can hear, it runs really quiet, really smooth. No complaints there. Mechanically, I think it's really solid, really sorted. And that's always important to me because it's a daily driver and I have to drive a few miles down the highway every day for work. So yeah, that's my new to me 1996 town car. I think in my next video, if it's not one where I'm sort of fixing these little issues, I'm going to be talking about why it's such a good time to buy these cars, because I really do believe it is. And I think they're sort of slept on, especially for people my age who are maybe looking for a newer car. Anyway, that's about it. Hope you have a good one. Bye.